Okay, I'm just going to solve some more +1 beer brands that are +1. Molson equals 88. This is amazing. In 6 letters, 12 strokes. And it's been around for a long time. It's one of the quintessential Canadian beers. But amazing. So Molson equals father plus 30 in exactly 6 letters and 12 strokes. Father is 6 letters and 18 strokes. Everything divides by 3. So Molson, father brand. Budweiser is amazing. Budweiser is 106, father plus 48, offsets of 6 and 9 letters, 23. But look at the design of Budweiser. Exact same phenomenon as Snowflake as we saw previously. Okay. 4 letters that divide by 3, 2 letters that are +1, and 3 letters that divide by 3, or 4 plus 2 is done. Just like Snowflake, where you've added 1 to each category. In fact, it's identical. This is mind-blowing how Budweiser is identical to Snowflake in that the first 3 letters provide, the 3 letters in each category, if you will. And those add to the 48, which is mind-blowing. Or no, that was the Snowflake one. Yeah. So, very obvious, same design, Budweiser, very king brand. And then Coors is a very simple father one with the 1 plus 1 on the end. It's father plus 12. So all these, just for the record, is father plus 30. Okay. So we solve Molson, we solve Budweiser, we solve Coors, and you can solve more beer brands at your will. Like Heineken, is that how you spell it? Is +2. Heineken parallels Christ. If it's not Father, it's either Christ or Jesus or the Holy Ghost. And the more you look, the more you see. Okay. This is funny though. Beer on tap is a 3-2-1. The last word, Father, gets the last word, which is the +1 tap. And then if you say the famous "we have beer on tap," you get +1 at the beginning for Father, +1 at the end for Father, and then the overall +1 offset for Father in 15 letters. And then all these words divide by 3, counters, talliers, yield a +1 offset, mathematicians, computers, and then a bean counter. So we're collecting +1s like crazy, all the greatest things in the universe, things that are on top, the best of the best. That's what we're doing. We're solving it for the Father. So what else is on top? We solved froth for the Father. That was amazing. By way of review, there's the froth on top of your drink. Froth is perfect for Father. Fizz we solved. Carbonated drink, carbonated driver. What's that new, now they have the, oh yeah, I got, it's +1, it's a fizz machine. It's a on-demand, like, pressure, I can't remember what it's called. Soda Stream, they call it. A Soda Stream. That's a Father brand. Soda Stream, word stream is +1 for Father, soda divides by 3. Done. We solved every Soda Stream. Okay, solid +1. Anything else we want to talk about? I think that's pretty good. What's on top? Oh, the tablecloth is on top. Father, Father for both words. Father for table, Father for cloth. In fact, cloth equals Father. And we are wearing clothing. Like, what's on top of my body? Oh, clothing. Cloth. What's on top of your bed? Cloth. What's on top of your pillow? Cloth. What's on top of your car interior? Cloth. Cloth equals Father. Father is on top. When you go to the restaurant, they might have a tablecloth. So there you go. Father owns all cloth. What's on top? Cloth. And then just look how that happens. The TH come into the center. And then a C and an O make a multiple of 3. In fact, they equal the R, or multiple of 6 rather. And then the L is double 6 equals the F and the A and the E. They all divide by 3, by the way. So cloth equals Father. What's on top? Well, the table is first of all on top. And ideally, you would just say the tabletop. Okay. The tabletop. The tabletop is such a gorgeous set of letters for Father. It's very obvious because in table, look at what God ordained in the word top. It's a 1, a 2, and a 3. And the reason that happens is that it hooks up with the word table, which has 3 plus 2 is a single plus 1, and the letters divide by 3. So this just maintains the offsets flawlessly, okay, to glorify Father. So you talk about the table, that's fine. You talk about the tabletop, because technically there's the underside of the table, okay, and then the tabletop just pushes it really high. It's very obvious for Father, though, F-A-T-H-E-R. The tabletop, done. So we solved the tabletop, we solved the cloth. Oh, a serving tray might sit on top of the table. There's also what is called the rotisserie. A tray, a platter, a serving plate or tray. Now this was another revelation that plates, plural, is Father, equals number. Plate equals love. But a tray, okay, serving is Father, any act of serving. But then you could have a serving platter, platters, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. This contains the word plate, which is love, and just keeps going higher. But technically it's a serving tray, Father, Father. Gorgeous offsets too in 6s, add the S, serving trays. A single serving. Like, what is on top? What is that? Oh yeah, and when they lift off, what is that thing called? Is that a bowl? Formal servings diagram? I don't know. Formal dinner setting. Formal dinner setting diagram. Sure, this seems relatively decent here. Oh boy. A wine glass. I can't believe I haven't solved a wine glass until now. Let's solve the wine glass. Wine glass for Father is 109 and 9 letters. And just take a quick peek. The bookends make a multiple of 6, just like Father. Father owns every wine glass. Get ready, kids. Let's shoot for symmetry on this occasion. There's always tons to see. Let's see, what's at the dead center of wine glass? It's a gorgeous 9 letters. Oh my gosh, look at the 12s. 24 at the dead center, that equals the bookends of Father. That's irresistible. Oh my gosh. Wine glass is just giving it to us. And then that is flanked in another 15. You got the E and the A in order. That's also irresistible. Like, there's a whole lot to point out. The more you look, the more you see. And then wine glasses will just keep the party going because you add another 24 points to it. It's just ridiculous. Wine glass. I mean, you can just start with the word glasses because that has the offset, and then you have the A and the E in order. And it's just silly, but why not talk about wine glasses? And you know, I was wanting to point out this style, where then the T this differs by 9 in the center, and AE equals an AE. The SW is a multiple of 6, just like the FR, and then add an S and an I, make 33. Add another 42 to the party. That's amazing to me. Team blue is 42, team gold is 42. And all that matches very nicely. And then if you add another ES there, you just add another like 24 on there. So Father owns all wine glasses. That was a minor solve. Thank you very much for all the world's wine glasses in less than a few seconds. Okay, what else does Father own? He owns your wine glass. Water glass is Father. Dessert spoon. Oh, well, that technically, like when I got a, this is going to blow your mind. Just like a stirring spoon. When I got a hot chocolate at Milestones yesterday, the highest item that was coming out of my cup was in fact the stirring spoon, also known as the dessert spoon. Okay. Well, sovereignty of sovereignties, both of these words divide by 3, and the spoon provides the Father plus 1 offset. Okay. So now the dessert spoon for Father, bang. Now I'm going to stick the word the in front because that's going to make it absolutely flawless, a nice even number. So let's solve the dessert spoon for Father and the stirring spoon. And God saves the best for last. So when you get to pick up that dessert spoon, now you're in happy land. Like you are, I love coining new phrases as I go. I am a poet and very much a mathematical one. Happy land is a fantastic set of words for Father. Why not add the in front of it? The happy land, sure. Very, very gorgeousness plus oneness. But we are solving the dessert spoon. Notice, from formal layout, we're solving everything that is on top. Because remember, Father is on top. The dessert spoon, according to this diagram, is officially on top. Like that is the highest of the high. That is the best of the best. And remember, God saves the best for last. And who is the best for last? It's Father. Father, Father, Father. Jesus told us that. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father. The highest, the loftiest, the holiest is Father. So Father gets the dessert spoon. Because Father is highest, Father is at the center, and Father is, saves the best for last. So the dessert spoon is in the house. Now, some people also use the stirring spoon as the dessert spoon because they're a nice, quaint little spoon. So we'll get both of these scooped up in less than a couple seconds. So the dessert spoon, in total, equals 202, which is a grand offset of Father from, oh my gosh, 144, 12 times 12. King offset of sixes. Doesn't get much stronger than that. And then that's accomplished in 3 words and 15 letters divided by 3. Okay, and the stirring spoon is, oh my gosh, so similar. Same number of strokes for each of these, 34, 34, which is a self-father offset. But so this pushes you even higher. That's 226. That's exactly 24 higher. Glory to God. Multiples of 24 on these offsets, which is stunning. There you go. We just solved the dessert spoon and the stirring spoon in the name of God the Father. Oh, that was good, because God saves the best for last. What else is the cake fork? The cake fork, oh my gosh, I never knew of such a thing. I've never had a cake fork in my life. Well, the cake fork is apparently on top, and it's probably very British, so that means it's awesome. So the cake fork is also Father, and it's also on top. And this is amazing to me, the cake fork, because it's just obvious. You got your 3 plus 2s, your single plus 1, which is the A in Father. One of your plus 2s is the E. The K and the K differ from the TH by 6 flawlessly. Cake fork is just hitting it out of the park for the Father. It's like, I tell you, you're in happy land when you get to pick up the cake fork. And you're in happy land when you get to pick up the dessert spoon. And you're also in happy land when you get to pick up the wine glass. We've solved the first two. We're almost, now we're going to solve the cake fork. We solved your wine glass for the Father. We solved the dessert spoon for the Father. Now we're solving cake fork for the Father. And we're just going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So the cake fork is flawless in its design. For Father plus 1 offset equals 103. Equals Father plus 45. And the letter for letter correlation was just awesome. And you can note similar things with the dessert spoon and the stirring spoon. That when you calculate the number of plus 2 letters over the number of plus 1 letters in all of these combos, you will see the number of plus 2s outweighs the number of plus 1s, just like the design in the word Father. Okay, and it also outweighs the number of letters that divide by 3, just like in Father. So if I just spend a couple seconds, doesn't take long. In the dessert spoon, you have 7 plus 2s. And that is over top of the 5 plus 1s. That's the exact same offset as in Father, where it's 3 over 1, a difference of 2. Flawless in its design. Stirring spoon, you have 6 plus 2s. Man, you've got a ton of letters that divide by 3. This is a miracle. And then in stirring spoon, it's the same phenomenon. When you say the stirring spoon, you have a total of 6 plus 2s over 4 plus 1s, which is again the same as in Father. The number of plus 2s is 2 higher than the number of plus 1s in both the stirring spoon and the dessert spoon and the stirring spoon. Amazing. And that is also, now if you just cake fork, it adds a triple with, okay, enough said. Enough said. Good night. So we solved the cake fork. I know place is plus 1. This is your place. Allow us to seat you at your place. So place is Father. Place card. Card is Jesus. So Father plus Jesus will hook up. And then there are many place cards for many tables, and that, so you just keep going higher. Place cards. So place is +1 for father. Place cards will round it out to be a +1 father. Bread plate is 3's love of bread knife, 333. Salad plate is on top. Well, see, so what else is on the top? According to this, what the dead center on top is the salad plate. Plate equals love. Salad is +1, so salad plate apparently is on top and dead center for father. That is 124, which equals father plus 66. Pretty glaring. The salad plate has been solved for your satisfaction. And then I know dinner is +1, salad is +1. These knit together, so 4. And dinner is +1. Like dinner itself is father, just like the word salad. And, yeah, the good old teaspoon. Tea is Christ and spoon is father, so that's a happy little marriage there. And then if you want to make it father again, you pluralize, but in fact, teaspoons equals the salad plate, disturbingly. The soup spoon is another similar thing. Soup spoon and teaspoon do the same thing, where you got this Jesus Father combo. Probably equal. Yeah, I knew there was something cool going on there. Same digits, both divided by 3. Teaspoon, soup spoon. Cup and saucer. Oh, I forgot to solve the saucer. This is so cool. So cup, like a spot of tea. So this is amazing. So cup is father, and saucer. I knew sauce was father, but then you just add the R. Saucer. So both are father. Cup is 40, minus 18 from father. And saucer, it equals water. Another water punch. So cup and saucer, and 3 and 6 letters. Father. And look at how obvious saucer is. I mean, it's got the A, the flying saucer. So father owns the saucer. The cup and saucer. And aha, they according to this diagram, they don't come until the end too. Cup and saucer generally aren't placed on the table until the dessert course. Woo! Now dessert courses is better because then you get a +1 for father. You should have many dessert courses. But so look at all the best of the best things: the cup and the saucer, the wine glass, the dessert spoon, the cake. All right, that was a. Now what's also cool is you have the salad plate, and then technically you have the entree plate, which also is father, or you can call it the main plate, which is also father. So, you know, entree is +1, entree equals water, main is 30 points less, main equals salad. So you got the salad plate, you have the main plate, they equal the same thing. There you have it. So the salad plate, you know, why don't I just bang, bang, bang. There you go. The main plate equals the salad plate for the father. So no one's getting a meal without father, here's what I'm trying to say. And then the entree plate is going to push you 30 points higher, lovely 3-fest, and so now your father plus 96. It's just all very perfect and very happy. For the glory of one name above all names, the Father. Father owns everything, he's the richest of everything. Father, you always knew that Father bought everything for you, but now you know who it is, the Heavenly Father. Like, people think they own something. It's actually God the Father that owns it all. Just remember that. We are stewards. Okay, so Father is in the house. And by the way, the Father has many stewards down here, and stewards belongs to Father. +1 in its fabulous design. The more you look, the more you see. You can see a lot of 24s in there, a lot of good stuff. Okay, so we solved the entree, the main, the salad. Oh, and then you can have the side plate. So we solved your entree, we solved your main, we solved your salad. Let's solve the side plate, if there is such a thing, which there certainly is. And then why don't we just bring in the saucer plate just for fun. And saucer equals entree, so if you have the saucer plate, why don't we just copy that? So the entree plate equals the saucer plate. If you have the flying saucer, that's a father-father combo. So if you're really good, you'll sail your saucer halfway across the room. And then the side plate equals the salad plate equals the main plate. This is just ridiculous. And plate equals love. So it just keeps getting ridiculous. So now you bring the side plate into this fabulous piece of machinery, and you have the main plate, you have the salad plate, and you have the side plate, which equals those two. Main equals salad equals side. And they all start with +1 letters. So this is very, very obvious. Amazing. So we solved your salad, we solved your side, and we solved your main. And it was absolutely flawless in its design for Father. So there you go. On record. Here it is, folks. Here's your entire restaurant setting solved for the glory of the Father. You have the saucer plate, the entree plate, the main plate, the salad plate, the side plate. What else? Okay. We did a lot here. Okay. And napkin is a supporting player. Napkin parallels Christ. Anything else that we can... what else can we solve from your dinner? A service plate, salad plate, soup bowl. Ooh, serviette is a beautiful... Divides by 3. Okay, we've really, and then salt and pepper we solved, place card. I love the dessert spoon. We solved the dessert spoon and the cake fork. Those to me are my favorite. And I strongly felt the Lord prompting me to go to desserts when I was solving this yesterday. Desserts is Father. The best for last. God always saves the best for last. A flute is Father. Just like a glass. Oh, you have a wine flute. Well, flute was one of the first instruments, which belongs to Father. Father owns the saucer. But Father owns every flute and every lute. Do the math on those suckers for homework. Lute equals Father, and then flute just pushes it 60 higher. Lute equals Father, and then a flute just goes higher. So you have a flute of wine, you have a lute to play music on, but you make sure you're singing your head off to the Father, and it's all Father, Father, Father. Okay? So... now you can have a musical lute, and because musical divides by 3, so you're just pushing this higher. In fact, that divides by 6s, so a musical lute maintains the 6s on top of Father. Or you can have a musical flute, and now you're going really high. And then you can talk about a flute of wine. Okay, so that's the goods right there. Flute of wine, also known as a glass of wine. But I'm in love with the word flute because, well, glass equals Father, but flute is 6 points higher. But Father was sitting right on the end of flute. So I think flute takes you higher than glass, in my strong opinion. I am in love with the word flute because you had Father sitting on the end, but you added 6 points to the front. Glass equals Father, flute goes 6 points higher. So a flute of wine, now you're screaming like high over Father. A glass of wine was pretty darn... So this is 136 equals Father plus 78, if my math is correct. And this is 130. Offsets of 6s from Father are King. I've been preaching that for a long time. This is Father plus 72. Okay. So, a flute of wine has been solved. A glass of wine has been solved. And then beer divides by 3 like wine, so you could talk about a glass of beer or a flute of beer, and that'll be fine. I mean, the glass doesn't change. The liquid does. So, I'm here to solve the wine flute, the wine glass. Ooh, and that is, what does that say? Let's see if I can get a little larger. Can we get in here? That is trying to sell me cordial sherry. Is that what that's saying? I insist on trying to solve as many words as I can. I would like a piece of the word champagne, wouldn't you? Let's let champagne onto the table for half a second. Champagne is flawlessly Christ, okay, and also Jesus in its offset. And so what happens when you marry Jesus with the Father in a champagne flute? You get a gorgeous 132 Trinity glorifying experience. Or a champagne glass, 126. And that's amazing. A champagne glass is 126, but what's really confirming about that is you get 2 equal teams doing the hopscotch effect. Okay, the divide by 3, 63, 63. That is the exact same phenomenon as the famous words oxygen, the word breath, and the word nostrils. Okay, very famous words, oxygen, breath, and nostrils. That's how you're staying alive, basically. So it's unquestionable that the Trinity owns every champagne glass. But who gets the last word? Oh, Father, because glass equals Father. And who gets the last word in flute? Well, it ends in Father, and the offset is Father. Okay, so champagne, flawlessly, it most accurately parallels Jesus. But actually, I can preach both. Look at how champagne parallels Christ. It's actually quite silly, because they both start with CH. Okay, and then they end in a, I should have underlined like this one. They end in a +2, like this. And then this trio, you got a trio of 3s in there. This is 21 in there. That differs from the S by that. It's pretty glaring. This is 46. And that's 6 points higher. Plain and simple. You can notice other things if you want to take more time, like an N and an E equals an S. You can actually like bump off a lot of stuff verbatim. Like you can do some cool stuff like this, where an N and an E equals an S. Very famous combo to do so. A T you can get from an M plus a G. You have flawless equivalence thus far. And then just Team Gold. Amazingly, this is actually really getting silly about how Christ is declared in champagne. And the more you look, the more you see. I'll bet you can find Father 58 in champagne in a very gorgeous position. But there's Christ in champagne. Like a difference of 9, and it's flawless. Like look at that. An N plus an E is a famous way to make an S. I've seen that everywhere. A T equals an M plus a G. And then an R equals an A plus a P plus an A in gold. The C and the H at the front equal each other, and then the I is the 9 bonus in Christ to maintain offsets of 3s for the Trinity. So, like I said, what happens when you put Christ and the Father together? Well, same thing as champagne and a flute. Champagne flute, Christ Father, heaven on earth, done. Okay? It's very obvious. Christ plus the Father is 135, love plus half a love, champagne flute, 3 points less. Done. Trinity maximally glorified. We solved every champagne flute in the name of Christ and the Father, and Father gets the last word. Flute. Done. I had a high school teacher whose name was Mr. Lutz, and boy, could he play the flute. No, actually, I don't know if he could, but he was hilarious. Christ plus the Father. Very cool. It reminds me of Merry Christmas, which is Father plus Christ and Holy Ghost in order. And in fact, then you say the famous saying, Father Christmas, which parallels Father. Also known as Saint Nicholas, which parallels Father. Okay. Also known as Saint Nick, which parallels Father. Also known as Saint Nick, abbreviated, because the ST just shortens it. Also known as Santa, which parallels Father. And God has ordained all these things for the glory of the Father. Father next to me. Okay. But we solved every champagne flute. Now, I'm curious, like look at the center. I always insist on poking around a little bit more just for fun. What else can you find at the center of champagne? A map 30, you find gold at the center of champagne. What else? 60, there's holy. Holy at the dead center of champagne, which is awesome. And so yeah, you can easily find Father in champagne. I already did it. Just pop off the 2 A's from that center. And so H, P, M, G, N. Okay. Done. Okay, so we solved the champagne flute to our satisfaction. We solved the water glass, cup of saucer, coffee, tea. We solved the, what is that called? A seafood fork? A seafood fork. A seafood fork, like a cake fork, is Father. Like I've never had a seafood fork in my life. In my life. I have never had a separate fork for the seafood. Never. Boy, it's time for me to upgrade. There you go. The seafood fork is Father plus 90. And look, you can spell Father from seafood fork. Ha. In fact, I forgot to do that in the cake fork, which is my favorite, because everyone knows that the best comes at the end of the cake. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's just staring us in the face with all the AEs, but there. And so we'll grab this AE and then the TH at the front here. So there's Father spelled verbatim in the cake fork. And then likewise, I'll take this EA here, just like I did in cake. And there's Father spelled verbatim in the seafood fork. Oh yeah. That was slightly awesome. then you can just keep hitting it out of the park with all these letters, KP, SE24, tons of sixes on top of that. So, like, look at the sixes. So I've already spelled father verbatim, and then put a K with an S. That makes a multiple of 6. And then put an E with the D together with the O. And that also makes 24. I've just spelled love perfectly. And then an F is 6, and the 2 O's make 30, so you have another 36 on top of that, 6 times 6. So that's glaring for Father in the Trinity at large. Cake, fork, similar thing. The K and the K and the E make 27. Add this to make it 30. And then 15. Okay, done. Found Father in that. Service plate, amazingly. Soup bowl. It's so fun. This is +2. Soup, Jesus. That makes multiple. Service plate. Service plate is just amazing for love. Because service is love plus half a love. And you can find all the components. Service is just amazing for love. There's half love number 1. There's half love number 2. And there's half love number 3. And then the word plate, of course, equals love. So service plate is love plus half love. So that's at the very bottom. I want to get the, like, what's the topper? You know, when the waiter, oh man, let's not kid ourselves. A waiter is Father. A waiter. Oh man, you know, just like, this is so obvious. It's silly. The waiter, Father God. Look at that. Look at that, my friends. A W and an I is 32, and an F and a good night. It's just sitting there. Like, it's just sitting there. And then I always like to point out the obvious. Waiter, I mean, come on, waiter parallels water. Like, whoa, let's just realize the sovereignty of God and how much, you know, water is the most important thing to life, physically, okay? +1. And again, water is so simple in its design for Father. 3 plus 2's, a single +1, and then this divides by 3. It even sounds the same as Father. Father, water. Father, water. I mean, we've been saying this for years, but the revelation is finally here. The math is perfect. Father, water. Father, water. Well, Father, waiter. Father, waiter. And if a waiter is honest, the one thing he needs to watch more than anything is that there's always plenty of water. Like, that's one of the first things you learn as a waiter. Make sure no one runs out of water. Like, that is the #1 act of a waiter, is to keep an eye on people's water glass. Like, if that Queen of England runs out of water, you are fired, my friend. Like, that just does not happen at our party. They can run out of something, but it better not be the water. Okay? Because that would just be embarrassing. Okay, so the waiter serves the water for the Father. Man, that was good. Oh yeah. And then, of course, if you have a waitress, well, she contains the word water. They just did a little Scrabble work here, as God is very famous of doing. There's your water and the word waitress, and your water and the word waiter, and then she stacks some extra S's on because she's the very curvy female one. S's are very soft and sensual and curvy, and she is, in fact, a female, so she's a waitress. Okay, so she gets the bonus S's +1s for Father on there. Also, mother is parallel as well. But she gets water, just like the waiter. And then there's the I in center for the Trinity, which is 3 times 3. Done. Okay, so you got a waiter, got the waitress, waiters, pluralized, waitresses, get more S's, sensual in there. +1s for Father, offsets, okay, S's are +1s for Father. And there you go. We just solved every waiter and all water and every waitress in the name of the Father, who owns all things. Okay. That was highly satisfying. So we saw the service plate, salad plates, cake, fork, dessert, pork, salt and peppers, Father. And now, if you're really good, you'll have salt and pepper shakers, multiple. Like you'll have a selection of them. So salt shakers, all over the restaurant, of course. Salt, Father, salt shakers, Father. Which is higher though? Typically, you'll have like a pepper grinder, which I experienced last night, which is higher than than the salt. Okay, so the salt and pepper both differ by 6s from Father. Pepper sounds more like Father to me, but you get the idea. The pepper is traditionally taller if you get the big pepper grinder. Okay? Can I grind you some fresh pepper? Oh yeah, you better believe. Okay, so that was fun. You solved salt and pepper. What else? I want to get some new serviette. So the serviette, just like the service place, is another love-filled word. Let's just get serviette on the table. Very screaming out love. I mean, serviette equals 1, 2, 3. And there's your love right there, just like service. And then you get this gorgeous 45. And you just, in fact, it's love plus Jehovah. There's Jehovah wrapping the love in serviette. Okay, so that, it really should be called a serviette. It's not a napkin. Let's be British. It's a serviette. All right, so we hit the dinner setting out of the park. Which leads me to preach on the fact that it is called a dinner setting, also known as a table setting. Every word is +1 for Father. You set the table. Father. Dinner, table, Father, Father. Dinner, table, Father, Father. Setting, Father. Setting, Father. You're going to learn to get this, okay? The number of +2s is exactly 2 higher than the number of +1s in every single word, just like in Father. Okay? Here it is in dinner. There it was in setting. Okay? When Father comes home, he wants dinner in a nice setting. Okay? That it's been done since the dawn of time. But it's all for the Father, okay? And everyone knows it and everyone loves it. So, dinner setting, Father, Father. Table setting, Father, Father. And then you have the setting sun, okay? Which is Father, okay? So, setting, the setting sun, setting of the table. Father, Father is sovereign over all this design. That felt good. Okay, so the dinner setting, Father, Father, table setting. Add the word formal, and you add Jesus in front, makes gorgeous opposite of 6. So if you talk about a formal table setting, this is going to blow your mind. So formal, table, setting. Now I'm going to take you higher here. So formal is Jesus, okay? Very, very obvious in its design. You can also go Christ -12. You can study this for homework and get more out of it. +2. Now, when you hook this up, you get a gorgeous multiple of 3, and then the ultimate +1 will yield a +1 for Father. In fact, it yields the street number that I live on. So our formal table setting, formal dinner setting, will yield a grand offset from Father and upset. Father, 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 the name above all names. And he, done. Okay. So we solved the dinner setting. And boy, and collectively this is what you call dinnerware, and you can just add that one up, where Christ and dinner. Okay, utensil, Father. Okay, we killed that one pretty good. We hit all the biggies. I like the dessert spoon the most, because I really felt led to mention that God saves the best for last, and that desserts is the best. Informal. Okay, we did a great job. Now, technically, the place card is only as good as the place name. Who is sitting here? Place, name, Father, place. Okay, we really hit that one hard, as always. It was very satisfying. The butter spreader. Oh man, I insist, I love things that are on top. The butter spreader is Father. This is going to blow your mind, how the butter spreader belongs to Father. This is glaring. Look at, if you're really simple, you'll notice that butters or buttery works flawless for Father. No. It has to go like this. Look, count your +2s. You have 6 +2s over exactly 4 +1s. That is the exact same phenomenon. This butter spreader is blowing my mind for Father. This is blowing my mind. I kid you not. Wow. That is amazing. What? Are you kidding me? Hold the phone. Okay, so you have 6 +2s. That's 3 higher than in Father. And then you have an extra, and you have 4. Yeah, it's flawless. It's absolutely flawless in this design. Flawless. The butter spreader equals Father plus 72 plus 42, 6s. Father plus 130, 114. The butter spreader has been solved in the name of the Father. And that's the highest item. And then the bread and butter plate divides by 3. It doesn't take long to do this. It's really quite satisfying. But it ends in love. Wow. Bread and butter plate is love plus love plus love plus half a love. And again, that was just staring at us. So bread and butter, the famous words bread and butter is love plus half a love. Plate adds the final love, so the bread and butter plate is just singing its head off at you. Bread and butter is in the house. But the butter spreader is for the Father, and he sits on top of the bread and butter plate. So, and then that's amazing to me, because the service plate, if that's what you call it, is love plus half love plus love. Like bread and butter is love plus half love. Service is love plus half love. Just like the bottom plate is screaming out love. Okay. And then the base of your wine glass is called the base, which is half a love. Okay, so all this love at the bottom, I'm just marveling at the numbers, folks. I'm preaching the truth here. It's like, what's the bottom of your wine glass? Well, it's the base equals half love. Service is just okay. But who's on top? The Father. And then what's at the top of your glass? The rim. And you can even play music with the rim. But rim is +1 for Father. The rim is the highest part of the glass. Also known as the lip. Oh, I'm just hitting this out of the park. And then you put your lips on the glass and start singing your head off and start kissing your spouse, and you're just in paradise, and you get all your friends around you and have a giant wedding, and you're like, people dancing in the streets, shouting Father day and night, just like finally the revelation has come. People singing their heads off, grabbing a lip, people jumping on rims, people slam dunking the rim, saying I need to touch the rim while I grab a lip of a wine glass. Like, what's the highest of the high? What's the tallest of the tall? Okay. So the lip of the glass is also known as the rim of the glass. I'm hitting this one out of the park. So lip equals 37, equals salad, equals Father, minus an offset of 3 for the Trinity is precisely, my good friends, 21. And then a rim, roll up the rim to win. By the way, Tim Hortons, I forgot to mention that. Tim Hortons is a famous +1 Father brand. It's very stunning and very silly, actually. Like when you do a letter-for-letter comparison on Tim Hortons versus Father, it'll blow your mind. But rim equals 3 points higher. Good night. So Heavenly Father owns the lip of the glass, and he owns the rim while the Trinity is maximally glorified. The lip, the rim. So what's at the top? Father is on top, the top of the... Oh man, it's a goblet. It's a wine goblet. Come on. You can have a glass, you can have a cup +1, or you can have a goblet. I want the goblet because goblet is flawless for Father in 6 letters. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Actually, I don't know if I've said this before, but it sounded cool. If you want to have a good drink, you need a goblet in the name of the Father. Preferably a platinum goblet, because platinum is Father, or gold would be nice, because gold is Jesus. So, look at this. Oh my goodness, we just hit a gold mine. So goblet equals 61 equals Father +3 in exactly 6 letters and 15 strokes. Remember, the letter count and stroke count of Father divides by 3, 6 and 18. That is huge. Verbatim, letter for letter in its design, flawless. 2 letters that divide by 3. You heard it here first. We solved every goblet in the name of the Father. We're talking kings and emperors and Caesars and Shazars and queens and princes and every single house of royalty that ever had a goblet drunk from. It's all mathematically for God the Father. Done. There it is, folks. You heard it here first. You can have a water goblet. You can have a wine glass, a wine flute. A water goblet? That's cool, because water is 6 points higher than goblet. And again, has the same design with this 3 + 2, so 1 + 1. But then a wine goblet works just nicely to keep the offset. That's gorgeous, because now you get an even number. You get 51 + 61 to make 112, 60 on top of Father. Wine goblet literally then therefore equals Holy Father. Very, very gorgeous. Wine goblet, that's so cool. 4 letters for wine, 4 letters for holy, 6 letters for goblet, 6 letters for water. Both the first words divide by 3. So holy divides by 3, wine divides by 3, goblet parallels Father flawlessly, and in the sovereignty of God, wine goblet equals Holy Father. I need a golden wine goblet to the glory of the Holy Father. In fact, they're all over the universe, you know, particularly Catholic churches, they'll have that wine goblet, and it's very beautiful, and it's very golden, and it's very goblet-like. Goblet is, and it's there to the glory of the Father. Now, if you want to be, you can start adding superlatives, like the word gold parallels Jesus flawlessly, platinum is Father, and you can, so a gold goblet, well, that's 99 flawlessly, so Jesus and Father get together, and it's heaven on earth for the Trinity. And that has the hopscotch effect, yielding two teams of 36, 33, and 66, which is mind-blowing. Take every second letter and you get the 33, bang, that leaves the 66 behind, a gold goblet. Jesus plus Father, heaven on earth, Trinity, maximum, done. You can also find love in that. It just occurred to me that love is sitting right on the end of goblet. Just bang, bang, there's love in your goblet. And you have an O and an L, which is half love, and then a B-E-T, which is the other half love. This is just ridiculous. We got to bring back the word goblet. I mean, we sometimes, especially here in the West, fast food joints and even like, you know, casual dining, you know, oh, there's some glasses, you know, and give them a glass. I haven't had a goblet in ever. I'm like, honey, can you serve me a hot chocolate in a goblet? She won't even know what the word means. I mean, we need to come back to some royalty here. So, goblet, okay, equals 61. I'm just, seriously, people will be like, what's a goblet? It's like, we don't have any goblets here. Well, time to, but find love in a goblet. There's your L-O, the first two letters of love. E is the last letter of love, and then a B plus a T equals the V of love. That's amazing. So, goblet, that's huge. We just solved goblet for the Father. So the top of the cup is called the lip, also known as the rim. The lip, the rim, you can call it the apex, the zenith, all these are +1 Father words, the apex, the zenith, the acme, the highest, of course, but just, is there anything, I just happen to have the lip, the sip, ha! The sip! You sip the lip. And I just got that word as I brought it to my lips. The word lips contains sip. You sip the lip to the glory of the Father. There it is. Oh, now what am I saying? That's like a +1 count. It's kind of a double +1 for Father. You have to pay attention to individual letters. Sips with the lips. Okay, lip sip. You know what? Let's do something fun here. Lips sip. There. Now you get an overall offset of Father. In fact, it equals a gorgeous 100, which is king for Father. Father plus 42. Lips sip. Okay, that was just a cool little bonus there. And then the body of the glass is just +1. Base is half love. Okay, but what's on top? Well, that was quite awesome. We've basically just hit it out of the park for Father. Solved every table, solved every setting, solved every place, solved every glass. Solved Christmas table setting, solved candles. Flame is the top of the candle, flame is Father, flame tip. Wick at the top of the candle is Father. And you have the bowl lip. The perimeter. Ah, the perimeter. Ah, there's another word for the top of a glass. Would be called the perimeter. And your plate, the edge, the outermost. Perimeter. I believe, you know, what's the British spelling? I think it's that way regardless. So perimeter is gorgeous for Father. It's Father plus, it's 109, Father plus 51 in threes, and exactly, what's the coolest part to mention is that the number of letters and strokes divide by 3, just like in Father. And in fact, Father is 6 and 18, 2/3 precisely of perimeter. So Father owns the word perimeter. You know, you talk about the coast of the world. Coast equals Father. And then you have coasters that sit on tables for the Father. You know, coasters, also known as serviettes and coasters, you know, whatever, serviettes and plates. And coasters, plates. Now these become father offsets. Many coasters, many plates, many serviettes, many, placings. But the perimeter, oh man, it's just embarrassing, because then you have 4 plus 2s, you have 2 plus 1s, and you have 3 letters that divide by 3. Perimeter. Well, what does that tell us about Father? The Father owns perimeter. Well, he is around everything. Like, he takes the glory for the edge of everything. The perimeter is typically the highest. Like, it's the last, it's on the edge, the last shall be first. God saves the best for last. All sorts of common things you can think about. Okay. But in this case, the perimeter of the glass. Oh, we've just been killing this one. It's been awesome. Excuse me. You know what? You gotta be kidding me. I'm sorry. If you spam me like that, I will not stay on your website. I'm so happy we solved the dessert fork. Bread plate. I marvel at how all the plates divide by 3. The service plate, the bread plate. And then if you said the bread and butter plate, that still works. And then we solved dinner and salad, and then this with fork, we solved dinner and salad, Father, and soup, Jesus. And then we solved, it's supposed to be called a cake fork. Well, dessert fork, dessert spoon. White wine, dinner napkin. Okay, we are a master of this at this point. We've really hit this one over the park. That was cool. We got the goblet, we solved the flute. A sherry glass. Too easy. A menu card. All right. We nailed that one. Wow. Okay, that was exhaustive. Very thorough. Alrighty then. Thorough, Father. Tim Hortons is just so glaring to solve for Father. You can do that one for homework. 4 plus 2s. Tim Hortons is flaws. 4 plus 2s, 2 plus 1s. Tim Hortons for Father. Look, I'm well aware I'm the first human on planet Earth to solve Tim Hortons to the glory of the Father. 4 plus 2s. Okay, 2 plus 1s. The rest letters divided by 3. Tim Hortons.